Hey guys, it's Carter. So today is, I guess, post-op day 2, day 3 of my stay in the hospital since my surgery for the Nuss procedure. Um, I broke today into 2 videos. First one was before they turned off my epidural, and I'm finally getting around to making one tonight. It's about, is it almost 11? It's about 10:50 something, almost 11. So things went really rough today for me. Basically, once they turned off the epidural, I wasn't on enough pain medicine. They kept pushing morphine and all sorts of other stuff. It really didn't help at all. I quickly went from being kind of mildly discomfort to just like excruciating pain. And eventually, after a couple hours of just having to cope with that, we got the pain team back down here, and they started pushing some stuff through my epidural. That was what they did was they leave it in, they just turn it off, so that way, like when you have issues like I did, they can still use it enough to like go in and put another one in, which is kind of dangerous putting it in, because this went in right before I had the surgery. So what they did was they pushed some stuff, put me on a was it like a PCA machine? I'm not even sure, to be honest. And they gave me like a button I could press for that, for pain. That seemed almost like, jokingly, it almost seemed as though the thing wasn't even plugged in. It didn't do much of anything for me. And after like an hour of dealing with that, I talked to the pain team again, and they hooked my my epidural back up and got me running back on that. So thankfully I'm doing better now. It was rough going off of it, just not having enough painkillers. Talking about tomorrow, possibly doing it again, but instead using some other stuff that'll last a little bit longer, whereas the epidural wears off basically immediately as soon as you undo it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if I'm up for it yet, just because today was really rough. Even after I got the epidural hooked back up, my problem at that point was just that I've been in so much pain all day long. I was a lot of discomfort, and I tried to get out of bed. Once the epidural was working, I felt pretty good. I love getting out of bed when I can, just because sitting in bed all day long gets really old after a while, so sitting up on your feet can feel really refreshing. So as you can see, I'm kind of itchy still a little bit. Just it comes and goes with this. I'm taking some medicine, but it doesn't always quite cure it. So I got out of bed, and unfortunately the movement today kind of started making me vomit. I threw up a couple times, ended up getting back in bed, slept for a couple hours, kind of slept it off. Unfortunately today, all I did was eat breakfast. Wasn't able to eat lunch, and dinner wasn't really an option because I was vomiting at that point. And basically, my diet today's been like Jello and water and some juice here and there. And that's kind of really all I've held down. So I would say by far today's been the roughest day, just because of trying to get off the epidural, and I think we may have done it just a day early, just not quite have the right medicines in place. So we'll try again tomorrow, see how that goes. I'm kind of almost opting for maybe just a day of rest for me, because today's been really rough. My parents, well, my mom's been here, my dad stopped by, and my mom's going to go home tonight, but I was so bad that she just decided that it was going to be better for her to stay rather than leave me here by myself. So I really appreciate that, because it's, if you're ever going to like do the surgery, I would definitely recommend you have somebody with you in the hospital at all times, just because, you know, the nurses come and go and they do a pretty good job, but like if you ever need anything specific, or like this morning when I was in a lot of pain, there was nobody in here, and there was no way I was reaching around to get a phone or even finding my call button. I just was trying to lay as still as possible. So I would definitely advocate, you know, having somebody with you in the hospital. They can be there for you, kind of be your advocate to the nurses, and kind of vouch for you, because they, you know, they're around you, they know you pretty well, and they know what your pain is. So I'm really thankful I had my mom here today because um, it was pretty rough at one point, and I remember just like squeezing her hand and just not really knowing what else I could do because it hurt that bad. And yeah, today's the first day I've ever experienced what a 10 is like in pain, and believe me, it's not fun at all. But hopefully you never have to experience that. I think it was just a lapse in somewhere in judgment of what drugs I needed and how much. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But at this point, I'm pretty tired. I'm hungry, but I'm tired, so I'm probably gonna get some sleep for tonight. So I'll keep you guys updated tomorrow and let you know how everything goes then.